After this tutorial, you're gonna think, oh my gosh, is this real? And I'm here to tell you right now that yes, it is. This is a Procreate tutorial for complete beginners or people who already know their way around the app. Here you can see your gallery. There's every painting you have, every picture you have drawn. For you, it might be pictures that are already there from the app itself. On the top right corner, you can see a few buttons. First of all, there's a select button. Here you can select your pictures, you can delete them, you can preview them, you can share them, or you can duplicate them. Next, there's import and photos. Here you can import a photo directly from your gallery or a file from your files. But what we want to focus on is the plus button at the top. If you click on that, you can see New Canvas. Here's where you create a new canvas to draw on. There's a ton of different screen sizes that you can choose for your canvas. If you tap on the button next to New Canvas, then you can see that there's many options for customizing your canvas. You can choose the exact pixel size, you can choose the color profile, you can choose time-lapse settings, or you can choose your canvas properties. But for now, all of these are pretty unimportant. So what you want to do is just press on screen size. This is giving you a canvas just as big as your screen size is. Now we are in your new canvas, and the first thing I want you to get to know is in the top right corner. Here you can see a paintbrush symbol. If you click on that, you can see your brush library. Here's tons of different brushes. You can try them all out. There's really a lot. So you have tons of creative freedom with all the brushes you have. One very interesting thing you can do with your brushes is if you swipe left, then you can duplicate the brush. And when you click on your duplicated brush, the brush doesn't have to be a duplicate, but it's just in case you still want to keep the original. If you then click on the brush, then you can see a lot of options for customizing your brush. Here on the right side, you can test out the brush that you are currently customizing and see how you like it. You can really try out everything here to get a brush that you like. Once you have the brush the way you like it, you will just click on done. Next to your brushes is the smudge tool. This is really good to smudge out things so you can have smoother colors, or if you want to blend two colors. I use this all the time to smooth out a rough drawing that I have. Next to the smudge tool is the eraser. Just like the brushes, this can have different properties too. But it's basically just a basic eraser you can find in any other app. Just that it has different properties too. Right next to your eraser, there are the layers. Once you have the background color, you can change the background color to whatever you like. Just like here. But you can also turn off your background color by just ticking it off on the right here. If you want the background again, you just tick it back on, like this. If you want to add a new layer, you just click on the plus symbol right next to layers. Now you have two layers and you can draw on both of them, unless you have that layer ticked off. By holding the layer, you can move the layer up and down. If you hold both of the layers, you can also fuse them into one layer. This is good if you have line art on different layers or your colors on different layers, so that you can edit them better later on in the process. If you click on the N next to the tick, then you can edit the opacity of your layer or assign certain properties to your layer, like for example an overlay. That's a really popular one, but there are many more that really are useful for changing colors and many different things. You can really just try around here. The next thing are your colors, indicated by a circle right here. Here you can just choose your colors. There are many different options of how you choose your colors, like here disc, classic, harmony, values, or palette. But at the end of the day, you just really choose your color here. The next thing I want you to get to know is on the middle left side of your screen. There you can see two bars. The top bar changes the brush size. Up is bigger, down is smaller. The bottom bar is the opacity of your brush. In the middle there's a small square. If you tap on that, then you can choose colors from your drawing. But what you also can do to pick colors from your drawing is hold with your finger. Then you can also choose the color of your drawing without having to tap on the little square on the side. So this is really convenient. Below those things there's the undo and redo button. So if you have a mistake that you want to undo, you can click right here. But another really convenient thing that Procreate has is if you tap with 2 fingers, that undoes, and if you tap with 3 fingers, that redoes again. So you don't always have to press on these little buttons. It's really convenient and it saves a lot of time and effort. The next thing is on the top left corner. The very first button is the Actions button. In Add, you can add a photo or add text to your drawing. You can also copy the canvas here. In Canvas, you can crop and resize the canvas to whatever size you like, in case you need a bigger or smaller canvas. There's also an animation assist, because you can also animate on Procreate. Then there's also a drawing guide, basically just a grid that helps you draw. Here are also very important things, for example a reference. Here you can insert an image that you can use for your reference, for your drawing. You can pick colors from here, and it's just always around, so you can have it as a reference. You can also copy your own face if that's what you want. Another very important thing that's very useful for art is flipping the canvas. Here you can flip horizontally or vertically. Just very useful so you don't mess up your proportions in your drawing. On the next thing, Share, you can download the image, for example in a PNG or JPEG, or if you want to continue drawing with all the layers you have, you can download it in Procreate, so you can send it over to any other device you have, another person maybe. For the next thing, we have video. Video is the time-lapse you have. So the time-lapse from the beginning of your drawing to the end of the drawing. That's a very fun feature if you want to see the process that you have. So trust the process, you guys, then you can see how your drawing got better over time. You can also just turn off your time-lapse just in case you don't want it. And you can also export the time-lapse video. On breaths, there are many preferences you can choose. For example, if you want this dynamic island where you can choose your brush size on the other side, you can just do it here. You can also adjust pressure on smoothing, or you can do your rapid undo delay here. Or if you want, you can turn off your size and opacity sidebar off completely. On the next thing, help. Here's anything you need if you have problems with your Procreate, if you want to restore a purchase. There's also the official Procreate handbook, or you can also download 3D models right here. Now over to the next button on the top left, the adjustments. This is for hue, saturation, brightness, colors, everything to edit your picture after you've already completed it, or you can also use this if you are in the middle of your process. I like to personally use it at the end. You can sharpen your picture. You have here these curves so you can edit the color of your picture. Very useful feature indeed. On the next thing right here, you have your Lasso tool. There are many ways that you can use the lasso. You can have it automatic, you can have it freehand or a rectangle on ellipse. You can also have one solid color and fill that and then have that be your lasso. If you have your lasso set, you can go over to the next button, the arrow right here. Here you can edit the thing that you have in your lasso. You can make it bigger, you can make it smaller, you can distort it, you can wrap it. And if you go over to the next option, it will stay the same. You can just edit it even more. You can have the entire thing fit your canvas size. It's very useful. I use it all the time. Now we have all the options, all the buttons laid out for us on the drawing right here. Another thing that I want you to know is that if you're drawing from really far away, then your brush will get bigger. But if you zoom in, then your brush will be really small. That was the thing that I was surprised about the most when I first started using Procreate. And you can turn that off also. So that's just a feature that Procreate has. Same thing goes for the eraser. Now we have every option on your canvas discussed. If you want to go back to your gallery, you just have to press on the button on the very top left of your screen called Gallery. Now you're back in your gallery and you have all your drawings laid out for you. If you want to do a stack like I have here, you're going to take your drawing, you're gonna go to another drawing, and if it turns blue, then you have to release it, or you can just keep it there and it will create a stack for you. That's all the basic options of Procreate laid out for you here. If you have any more questions, feel free to leave them down below in the comments. And if you thought that this was helpful, then you can always just leave a like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more tutorials in the future. And I hope you liked it. Bye, you guys!